Part 1. Answer the question correctly. Number 1. Wingsuits are not very new, but the modern ones are better than ever. Number 2. Last October was the first ever Wingsuit World Championship in China. Number 3. You can buy a wingsuit for 600 to 2000. And number 4, the water distiller is for place where it's hard to get clean drinking water. Number 5, to produce the water distiller properly, they still need help with investment. Number 6, the enable talk gloves were invented by some Ukraine students. Number 7, the glove use sensor to turn sign language into text and then into spoken language. Number 8, James Cameron was part of a team which designed a submarine capable of descending to 10 kilometers down. Number 9, James Cameron was the first person to do a solo dive so deep under the sea. Number 10, MIT students have invented a product that helps people get the contents out of bottle. Once upon a time, there lived a rich merchant and his three sons. The rich merchant was sick. Before his death, he wanted to pass something on to his children. The first son got a rice mill, the second son got a donkey, and the third son got a cat. The third son was discouraged because he only got a cat. The cat who saw his master said, then gave a suggestion. Sir, give me a sack and boots. I will show you that I am a useful animal, said the cat. Is it true? One that just wastes my money, said the third son. However, he was curious about what the cat would do. Finally, reluctantly, he found a sack and boots for the cat. When everything has been obtained, the cat immediately put on his boots, even though he had to spend all the third child's money. The cat then filled the sack with fresh leaves. Then he took it to the field and put the sack open. The cat then immediately hid in the bush. The cat also looked at the sack. Suddenly, a rabbit came into his sack. The cat immediately closed his sack and carried it on his shoulder to give it to the king. King, I brought a present for you. This gift is from Marquis de Carabas, sighed the cat respectfully. The king was happy. When opening the sack, he found a rabbit in it. It's such a coincidence. The king has not eaten. The king then ordered his servant to cook the rabbit. Since then, every day the cat brings gifts to the king, and one morning the cat saw the king living with his daughter in horse-drawn carriage. The cat rushed to the third son. Sir, come on quickly. Come with me to a lake. Take off your clothes and immediately jump into the water. If you hear a horse-drawn carriage go by, pretend you can swim, ordered the cat. To his astonishment, the third son complied. Not long after, the horse-drawn carriage passed by. The cat immediately screamed for help. Help, my lord! The Marquis de Carabas cannot swim, shouted the cat. The king stopped and ordered his soldiers to save the man. Thank you for your help, king, said the third son. Why aren't you wearing clothes? Asked the king. The third son, named Marquis de Carabas, was just silent. He seemed to be cold. Come on, come with me to the place. I will give you some clothes, sighed the king. Meanwhile, the cat ran into cornfield. He ordered everyone to do something. If the king came and asked who owned this cornfield, they had to answer the Marquis de Carabas, who owned this land. A moment later, the king arrived at the cornfield. Field. He asked everyone who owned the cornfield, and the answer was the same. The owner of the field is the Marquis de Carabas. The king became very happy. He told that the Marquis de Carabas was a wealthy man and fit to marry his daughter. Meanwhile, the king daughter has fallen in love with the handsome Marquis de Carabas. Not long after, the Marquis de Carabas married the king's daughter. He also lived happily with his favorite smart cat. In a magnificent castle, there lived a man with a bluebird who was very rich. Living alone and lonely made him want to have a wife. One day, the bluebird man wants marrying one of his two acquaintances' daughter in the village. At first, the woman refused, but the bluebird continued to seduce them. Finally, they agreed to marry. Shortly after the marriage, Bluebird decided to go on a business trip for a few days. Before leaving, he left several keys to Claire, his wife. All of these keys are key to each room containing valuable object. All may be opened by Claire, except for one forbidden room. Claire promised not to open the room, but Claire's curiosity was too great to make Claire break the promise, and she finally opened the room. When he entered the room, how shocked he was! The forbidden room contained the corpse of the bluebird's former wife. The room full of blood and corpse made Claire shocked and scared, and Claire accidentally dropped the room key in the puddled blood. He also tried to clean the blood from the room key, and Claire were confused. The blood stains that did not disappear from lock were in a panic. She wanted to tell the incident to his sister. Then they planned an escape the next day. Unexpectedly, the next day, the bluebird came home faster than Claire expected. Bluebird also found the key with blood stains. He immediately knew that his wife had broken her promise not to open the forbidden rooms. With anger, Bluebird took a sword and dragged Claire into forbidden room to be killed. Before being killed, Claire asked for one wish, namely to be given the opportunity to pray, because Ain already knew what would happen when Bluebird returned, and he immediately helped Claire, who was about to be killed by Bluebird. Soon, Claire and Ain's older brother came to help Claire. Freed from Bluebird, finally, Bluebird found Claire's older brother after a fierce battle. Bluebird lost and was killed because he did not have a hair. All of Bluebird's wealth fell into Claire's hands, which then Claire distribute to all his brother. He too remarrying a man of her choice to forget that bad experience.